Welcome back to Retail Leadership with Steve Worthy. You have uh, joined me in the middle of talking about my book, The Retail Leader Paradox. And we are going through some questions. We are going to talk about five more questions. This is part 1B, if you will. What I realized was that there's 10 questions per part. And there's just a lot to cover. There's a lot of things up here in this mind. And so as I'm asking myself these questions, they are requiring a little bit of time. So enjoy this part 1B of part one, which is what I thought this would be, this book writing journey. And let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And there's a link in the description to help me with my subtitle for this book, and I would love to get your feedback on that. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and join in.
Welcome to Retail Leadership with Steve Worthy, where we go well beyond the corporate playbook to unpack major opportunities, hidden challenges, and critical issues that senior retail leaders face every day. So let's get started right now.
Question number 6. What section made me realize, okay, this book may actually have something? That's a great question. What section made me realize that? Okay, so here's a quick story. So you remember earlier in this episode, I talked about the approachable retail leader. So years ago, 2022, I think it was, I was like, because I just moved down here to Atlanta. I think it was the fall of 2022. And I wanted to write that book. And the book follows the journey of a leader. But I won't give away too much of that either. But I started interviewing a whole bunch of retail leaders, domestic and international, because the book covers this leader as they go from here in the States to over in the UK. And I started interviewing, I don't know, probably interviewed like 10, 12 people. And these were like almost 2-hour interviews just about the character in the book and about what he would go through and all these different things. And so it was just like, oh my gosh. So I still have all those interviews. And when this idea for this book, this current book, the Retail Leader Paradox, came up, when I knew it was going to be something, was that I said, you know what I want to do? This book can't just be through Steve's lens, which is great. I have a ton of experience, right? But I need something else. I need someone else to help tell the story. And so I said, you know what? I am going to take that character that I interviewed 12, 15 people about, and I'm going to put him into this book. And this will be once again like a precursor to, or an introduction to this character. And then so this is going to be the first time you see him, but then you'll see him in other books. And when I did that, I really felt like, and I started writing about what he sees, what he's dealing with, how he's feeling, the emotions, the conflict, the anger, the frustration, the joy, the satisfaction of being a retail leader at a certain level and eventually growing into something else. I knew that I had something. I realized that I'm not particularly sure if there's a story or a book out there like this, specifically for retail leaders. And then the other side, and I think I got two answers to this question. It says, once again, it says, what section made you realize, okay, I got something here. The other day, and this part just actually came up to me the other day. And so I was talking to my coach, my writing coach, and we were talking about the book. And one of the things that I didn't necessarily, I sort of knew it, subconsciously, and I never really said it out loud. because as she's been reading the book, she has really helped me see and verbalize that while the book says the retail leader paradox, these principles are in every leader in different disciplines. But the retail is the lens. And the reason while I picked retail was because I lived it. And I also feel that, one, selfishly, retail leaders are the best leaders in the world. And then two, the level of the retail environment, there is a level of immediacy that you just don't get anywhere else. Decisions, your customers, your people, everybody's right in front of you, and they're looking for a decision. You don't have time to say, we could talk about that later and call a meeting or send an email. A lot of it, even if you're a corporate, a lot of times it's right there in front of you. You don't have time to react. And so that's just one simple aspect of why I felt like this book will resonate with people, not just within the retail space, but within other spaces. Question 7, where did I catch myself trying to sound smart instead of being clear? I love this question. Where did I catch myself trying to sound smart instead of being clear? So here's the problem. If you are a reader like I am, and I am an old school book reader, and so I caught myself trying to sound like the Peter Druckers of the world, the Peter Singes of the world at certain aspects of my writing, and when I was trying to explain something very eloquently, and you know, using metaphors and all these different phrases and ideas and that was my rough draft and like the first draft, and it wasn't until like the third, I think, the manuscript, and then when I got my coach, that I started to reread everything, and I was like, what are you doing? No one talks like that. Right? I got certain parts in the book where two people, myself, I'm talking to someone else, and we're having this really in-depth conversation, and I was rereading it. I was like, no one talks like that. No one. When you're sort of arguing or you're going at each other, you don't talk in complete sentences. People are getting cut off. The half words are being said, and it's not formulaic. It's not structured. It's just real. And so I had to catch myself in trying to be okay with being real in these conversations, right? Because retail is real, right? Retail is real. What's that old saying? Like, now I realize it. I'm just saying it now. So there's I don't know if anybody has watched Stranger Things, and there's the one character, Erica, in there, and they're having this conversation, and he says to her, "Do you love America?" She said, "Well, you can't spell America without Erica." And I love that line, and I was just thinking about it. Well, you know what? You can't spell retail without the word real. Think about that. I just thought about that. That's so crazy. If you're looking at me online, you're actually seeing me write this out, and you can't spell the word retail without the word real. I know there's a T and an I or whatever in between those two, but it is what it is. All right, you get where I'm going with that. All right, question 8. We got a couple more. We got a good time. Hopefully, I'm keeping your attention, with all of this. And if you want to, help me with the subtitle, because I'm still working on the subtitle, and I'll probably be working on it for at least another month. because I'm getting a lot of not ideas. I already got some ideas, but I have a poll going. So I would love it if you want to help me with that. That would be great. Probably by part 2, I would have already chosen a subtitle, but for this part, I'm definitely gonna leave it in the description below. If you want to fill that out, that'll be great. I appreciate that. Let me ask you something. What happens when the very thing that has made you successful as a leader, well, that thing, it starts to work against you? You work harder, you take on more, you stay involved in every little thing because that's what the company has always required of you. But more importantly, those are the things that get rewarded. But eventually, your team becomes too dependent on you. Your company becomes too dependent on you. You get passed over. They say you're too important to get promoted. The difficult conversations get delayed. Well, the pressure of your role, it follows you home. And leadership no longer feels the way you thought it would. That is the idea behind my upcoming book, The Retail Leader Paradox. It was written for experienced retail leaders and even companies. Those of you you're not broken, but you may be trapped in a way of leading that no longer serves you. This is not another book about becoming a leader. It's about becoming the leader your next level requires. If this is you, make sure you visit theretailleaderparadox.com, or you can also visit worthyretail.com/now and get on our waiting list. So question number 8. Why is finishing the draft not the same as being finished? Yeah, listen to me. And this is a situation I actually literally just had this weekend. So part of my book writing process is that when I finish a revision, and before I send that revision over to my developmental editor, I listen to it. So this is something that she gave me a skill, or what do you want to call it? A process to do. Part of my book writing process is to listen to it. So Saturday mornings, typically, after I made a lot of revisions, and before I send it over to her, I listen to it. And so I'm listening to it at chapter 4 or 5 or something like that. And I'm listening to it, and I'm like, oh man, okay. And I'm catching little things. I'm catching little tiny things, little things. I'm like, oh, this is not good. She's gonna catch that. She's gonna catch that. So I get home, and I don't know how you are, but I'm a strategy plan guy. So as I'm walking, and I should be doing this, as I'm walking, I'm taking notes. I'm like, okay, I need to fix this, da, 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 da. And I get home, and I realize that, dude, like, this is going to take me all weekend to go back through all of this, all these new things. Are these things structural? Do they completely diverge the story in a way that is disruptive and that I can't go back and fix? And so I said no. And so I just sent it off. So the question is around, why is finishing the draft not the same as being finished? Honestly, and most writers will say this, and I initially thought they were BSing me when they said, man, I always felt like my book was never finished. I said, well, it has to be finished. And I am of that same camp now. Of like, man, it's just never finished. I mean, it's going to get finished to the point of like getting published. But man, there's just so many things and layers that you want to go through, and you want to change, you want to tweak, or whatever the case is. But if they're not detracting from the story, then do the editing process, or in the developmental editing process, then just leave it and let the developmental editor catch them. And if they feel like it needs to be shifted or tweaked, then you go back in and you make those changes. So it's there's a lot to it, from finishing the first draft to like ever being finished. And I didn't realize that process, right? To be very honest with you, I didn't know what a developmental editor was. I didn't know what a copy editor was or a line editor. I didn't know. I had to research all of that stuff like over the last 3 years. And, I initially thought, well, I could just go to a copy editor. It should be good enough. And I was like, no, I want to go through this process. And so the developmental editor has been outstanding. So question number 9, what did I learn about discipline? What did I learn about discipline from writing when I didn't feel like writing? I learned that this story needs to be told. Your story needs to be told. And the discipline, when I didn't feel like writing, I took a break. I took breaks, but I didn't feel like writing. I quickly removed myself from my chair, went and got a cup of coffee, or took a walk, or did something, maybe watched something on YouTube for a second, and then I had to come back, and the discipline came in having a structure for my chapters, for the story that I wanted to tell, and staying true to that. So along the way, as my English folks say, you can lose the plot, right? I didn't want to lose the plot. I didn't want to do that. So the discipline came in, making sure that I picked up from where I left off, and no new ideas per se. If I had new ideas that I wanted to add, I couldn't add them right now because it would mess up everything that I just previously said. So I would need to introduce new ideas the next round of revisions if that's something that I wanted to do. So I think the discipline of writing helped me say no to certain things that were really good ideas, but didn't necessarily fit into this chapter, where the character was going, what the character needed to say, my conversations with people, and then also thinking about the reader. Well, does the reader really need this? Or they need this, so I do need to add it, right? So those are some of the things that I had to learn from a discipline standpoint. Number 10, what did I learn about patience from rewriting the same idea multiple times? What I realized was that as I was writing, the ideas got stronger, right? So as you're writing the ideas multiple times, you are also peeling away, right? Because when you write something for the first time, for me, a lot of my writing initially was very safe, emotionally safe. Probably for me, but also I don't want to offend anybody type of emotional safety. Does that make sense? And the more I started to rewrite, the more I started to peel away that safety net from myself and also for you as the reader, because you need to feel this tension. You need to be in this moment. You've lived this moment. You understand what this moment calls for. You've seen it, right? Or you've heard about it. Whatever it is, I couldn't pretend that I didn't go through this. I couldn't pretend that others like you haven't gone through this. So what I learned about patience was that it's okay to initially probably be a little safe, right? But the more familiar you get with yourself, the more familiar you get with who you are as a person, who you are as a leader, and you can stand in who you know you are and what you stand for, you can be a little bit more vulnerable. You can share a little bit more. You can share some of those awkward stories that you probably wouldn't have shared before, because you know what? They're just stories and they're truth, and people need to hear these things. And so the more you write, the more you start to peel back. And I've actually enjoyed that process a lot. And dare I say, I'm actually getting emotional right now, because the writing process has been very therapeutic for me. It has helped me deal with and bring to forefront some emotional things professionally that I had never dealt with. Think about that, man. That's crazy. I'm serious. This is off the cuff. This is why I like doing these things this way. Everything I'm saying is just off the cuff. It's helping me. It's helped me deal with a lot of things that I had probably as a professional years ago thought that I was good with. And I was like, oh, wow. I never really thought about this experience in this way before. I didn't know I was dealing with that. I didn't know that I was covering that up, that emotional situation. I covered it up with productivity. I'm telling you, this has been a journey. And I'm excited that it's not over. It's not over. Not with this book. I got at least 2 more books in me, maybe a third after this one, that I want to do. And I'm enjoying this journey. I love it. I'm loving it. I would have never told you that I would love this part, that I would love writing. After I finished grad school, I was like, dude, I'm not writing anymore. I'm not writing anything anymore. And I have certain parts of my career I've had to, but for the most part, I was just like, I'm not doing this anymore. But I've been enjoying the journey. So I hope you've learned some things. And here's the thing that I would also ask you. I'm going to leave a link in the description too. And this is going to probably be for all parts. Like if you have a question about the book or about, what we do in Worthy Retail and the campus and executive coaching and all those different things, please don't hesitate to reach out, because just would love to hear from you, hear your thoughts. What are you expecting from the book? I know I haven't really talked about it per se, but you can hear some of the things that are going to probably take place, probably the emotional register that's going to take place within the book. And just want to get your initial thoughts, or if you have a question for me, and I can add it to part 2 or another episode down the line as well. So thank you so much for listening to Retail Leadership with Steve Worthy, and we will talk to you soon. I will see you in part 2 of this book writing process, this book writing journey. Have a great day. God bless. Well, thank you so much for joining this episode. The book is still being written, but the conversation has already started. If there's something small in this episode, something big in this episode that made you think differently about your own leadership, that's important. And I want you to stay connected to the journey. So make sure you visit theretailleaderparadox.com to learn more about the book. You can join our wait list and also follow what comes next. Because here's the thing. Sometimes the issue is not that you've stopped leading. It is that the way you have always led may no longer be enough. So thank you for joining us. Have a great day, and God bless.